Hi, my name's Alan, and today I'd like to talk to you about the Ielts speaking test. Before we begin, let's remember the most important point we mentioned in the previous video. In order to effectively cope with the speaking test, preparation is the #1 key we must keep in mind. And as we move forward regarding the speaking and writing, we will guide you along the way, step by step. Now let's talk about preparation and how it will greatly reduce the difficulties of the Ielts questions. Preparation begins with a few basic steps: questioning, research, and balancing the evidence with the possibilities. I know it may sound strange, but to answer a question, you must ask a question. I will help break it down for you. Firstly, before you take on the Ielts speaking test, you'll probably want to ask yourself, am I ready? Do I know enough about the test? What skills should I equip myself with? And more and more and more. In the second step, you will need to do some research about the test. Find the guidelines and requirements, and last but not least, do some practice. Practice is a thing young students definitely ignore the most. Next, Mr. Ivan will walk you through more details.
Hello, my name's Ivan. I'm an IELTS teacher at ETEST and an ex-IELTS examiner. Today, I want to give you some advice about the IELTS speaking test. There are 4 main categories in the IELTS speaking test: fluency and coherence, pronunciation, lexical resource, and grammatical range and accuracy. The examiner will assess you and give you a band score for each category. Fluency and coherence is about being able to speak freely without pause or hesitation and using a range of appropriate linking words and phrases to connect and order your ideas. It's also about whether you are on topic or not, and do you offer enough support for your answer? Do you talk too much or too little? Pronunciation is about using sounds and stress correctly to pronounce words clearly and appropriately. Stress patterns and natural rising and falling intonation are important in good pronunciation. Lexical resource is all about being able to use a good range of words and phrases to express your ideas. Repeating the same words over and over should be avoided, so being able to paraphrase and use synonyms is important. Lexical resource can also include using idiomatic expressions appropriately. Like lexical resource, grammatical range and accuracy is all about being able to use a good range of grammatical structures correctly and appropriately. Are you using tenses correctly? Are you able to use more advanced grammatical structures to express your opinions and make comparisons? For today's video, let's begin with speaking part 1, and let's start with a common mistake: giving an answer which is too short. Do you like dessert?
Yes, I do.
As you can see, the candidate gave a very short answer, and even though it seemed to satisfy the question, her response did not satisfy the requirements for fluency and coherence. This answer would not score higher than a band 5 for fluency and would probably score lower.
Yes, I love sweets. I often have them after dinners. For example, I have some ice cream or a few delicious slices of cake. It changes to my mood, obviously.
Now the candidate gives a well-extended answer. She also provided enough support to back up her claim by giving some examples. This answer would score a 7 or higher for fluency.
No, I don't like sweets actually. I do have them every once in a while, but I generally try to avoid them as much as possible. You know, they bring addiction and sometimes would cause certain health issues like heart disease, obesity, high blood pressure. I try to stay away from dessert most of the time.
This time, The candidate took another approach and stated very clearly why she didn't like dessert, as well as providing more professional support like addiction and health issues. This answer would score a 7 or higher. Of course, there are so many different ways to answer this question. Let's look at another example.
Yes, I love sweets actually. I do prefer to have them after dinner, but my doctor said that due to high risk of diabetes or high blood pressure, I should really take a restriction to my addiction into greater consideration, or at least a reduction of my portion.
As you can see, this is another way to answer a question. You should always consider looking into other possibilities and stick with the ones you are most comfortable with. You never know what question you're going to get. This concludes our content for today. In the next video, we will continue to explore further mistakes and solutions to help you avoid those mistakes and get higher IELTS scores for your speaking. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.